My network, my God, the network has been terrible, and I don't know. I was not sure anybody could hear me. I just had to go and start again. So welcome again to the tutorial. This is So with Oma, also known as Oma Edo Luxury. If you're joining my live for the first time, you're welcome. And if you've been on my live at any time that I came on live, you're also welcome. I'm happy to have you here. So in today's video, in today's live would be learning how to draft and cut a silk slip skirt. You can see it on the thumbnail, and just like the title says, that's what we're going to do today. And today I'll be using my pattern paper. You can either use you can use your fabric and do freehand, okay? You can choose to use the fabric or your pattern paper. Anyone is fine, but I'll be using a pattern paper first because this is the tutorial. I'd like to just show how it's done, okay? So yeah, if you're using your pattern paper like me, you will need your pattern paper, of course, your French curve, your ruler. You'll be needing a sellotape, your scissors, your pencil, and eraser in case you need to adjust anything, okay? With that being said, let's go into the video. And if you'll be using your freehand, that is, you want to cut on your fabric direct, what you need basically is your tape rule. Yeah, for your pattern paper too, you'll be needing pattern draft, you'll be needing your tape rule. But for freehand, all you need is your tape rule, your chalk, and your client's measurements. For this skirt, my client's measurement is the measurement you will need, whether for my client or your client. What you will need is the waist circumference, your hip point and your hip circumference, and the skirt length. Because of the dart replacement, you'll be needing the nipple to nipple if you are going to use this method, okay? For freehand, most times you don't need any other thing other than the waist point, waist circumference, hip point, hip circumference, and the length of the skirt. So for my clients, her waist circumference is 31, her hip point is 8. I'll be using 9 because this is a bandless skirt. This skirt is bandless, so I'm going to use I'll be using 9 instead of 8. And then her length, the skirt length is 26 inches. That is basically what you need: your waist circumference, hip point, hip circumference, and your skirt length. So let's go into the video. Please like this video so that more people can join, and if you're watching the live, leave a comment. Let me know from what location you're watching from, and let's connect. Also, let me know in the comment section what you would want me to do in our next video, what tutorial you'd want me to do in our next video, okay? Thank you very much. I should dive into the video. So already I have my baseline. Let me just put this down so we can see. So already I have my baseline, okay? This is the baseline. This is my baseline, and from there, okay, I'll be using a marker. So from there, I'm going to now get all my points. My hip points, like I said earlier, I'll be using 9. So I'll just get my hip points. Then I'll get my skirt length. So the skirt length for this video is 26, and I'll just mark 27, which is plus 1 inch of hemming allowance, okay? So I'll just mark 27. So 27. Next thing I want to do is to connect. I think I might need to put off this one. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is connect the points together. connect this together. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It is visible. All right, so the next thing I want to do, this my baseline is my waist point as well. So from my baseline, I'm going to get my waist point, and like I said earlier, my client's waist circumference rather is 31. So we need to divide by 4. 31 divided by 4. 31 divided by 4. I have 7 and 7.5 and quarter. So I'm going to put that here. 7.5 and quarter. I'm going to put that here. Okay. Now I'm also going to add 1 inch for that replacement. 1 inch for that replacement, and 1 inch again for our sewing allowance. On the hip area, I'm going to divide the hip circumference by 4 as well. The hip circumference is 45.5, that's 45.5 inches, divided by 4, that's about 11 to 8. I'm just going to say 11.5. I'm going to put 11.5 right there, right? 11.5, and I'm also going to add 1 inch of allowance, 1 inch of sewing allowance. So the same thing we have on the hip is what we're going to take down. Okay, is what we're going to take at the length area, the hem. So I'm going to put down 12.5, and then I'll begin to connect. Let me do it somewhere around the middle so it will be easy for me to connect. Okay, 12.5, and then I'll connect like so. So I'll connect like this. Okay, so I'll connect this way, and then using my curve ruler. Please, if you're joining, give this video a like, a thumbs up, so that more people can join and learn. I'm using my curve ruler to connect to this part. Okay, to connect to this part. I'll be using my curve ruler to connect to this part. So this is basically what we've done so far. The next thing we're going to do is to get our nipple to nipple. We want to create our dart, right? We'll create our dart and pin it down. Okay, so just follow the tutorial. So the nipple to nipple for my client, which is a apex as well, also known as the apex, is 8 inches divided by 2, which is 4 inches. So I'm going to indicate that here, indicate that all the way down to the length of the skirt. Okay, I'm going to indicate that all the way down to the length of the skirt and connect. So most times when you realize why, you'll be wondering why a particular slip skirt is looking better than another type. Sometimes it's just these little things, you know, trying to get the right measurement and trying to fix what needs to be fixed at the right time. So the next thing we're going to do is to get my where I'm going to stop my dart. So from the hip, this is the hip line. From the hip line, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. From the hip line, I'm going to go up by 2 inches.